I didn't want to stop reading it. I didn't want to let it go. Can we just be best friends? No? That's weird to be best friends with a book? Okay. Anyway. Hey, how are you? Jess Reads here. So happy that you could join me on another one today. Today, I want to talk about my October wrap-up. So some of the books that I read, what I thought about them, what I liked about them, didn't like, and then, of course, my star rating for each one. So the first one, actually, pause. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to go find my list. The first thing that I read in October was My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. In my November TBR video, I did a whole, I already kind of talked about some of these books, but in this video, I want to talk about my star ratings, what I liked, what I didn't like. This I saw was going to be the Halloween box pick for Once Upon a Book Club, and I didn't want to buy the whole box, so I just found the book and bought it. This I thought was cute. I felt like it moved a little fast for me. This is about a girl who's down on her luck, moves in with a vampire unknowingly. They become roommates. He's super old-fashioned because he's been asleep for the last 100 years. And so he's just really old-fashioned, talks really like almost Regency era. And she just doesn't know what to do with him, doesn't know how to handle it all. But it is a romance, so you can draw your own conclusions there. And it wasn't my favorite. I think I gave this like 3 stars. I was engaged. I read it. It was a good time, but it wasn't the best writing possible. It didn't keep me thinking for days. It didn't keep me up at night. It just was kind of a cute, just a cute read. Deeply okay read. So 3 stars for this one. I didn't really like how quickly the plot moved. It felt like really unreasonable. I know it's a vampire book. It's always going to be unreasonable. I get it. But just even if you took that element out, there was just some inconsistencies for me, and it just wasn't all there. So yeah, 3 stars. Roommate is a Vampire. The next book that I read was Book of the Month, or not Book of the Month, Once Upon a Book Club pick, Scenes of the Crime. So I actually went through the whole process, opened the gifts as I was reading it. I loved that. There were some really awesome gifts in this one. There was a charcuterie board and a book and a wine opener and some sunglasses. It was really, so everything was like super rad. I loved all of it. But this book is about a group of girls that over spring break many years ago in their college days, they go off on a vacation together at a winery, and one of their friends goes missing. And so fast forward a few years, they never found out what happened to her, but fast forward a few years, and they all get back together for kind of a reunion trip. And the main character of this book is looking for answers. She's trying to write a screenplay. She wants to write the next big thing, but she has to figure out what happened first. So she calls all the girls back to this vineyard, and they unknowingly investigate, or are being investigated, to figure out what happened to their friend. This was a really good book. I liked it. It's written interestingly because it has like kind of the screenplay and then like regular writing. The format is interesting. I really liked it. It took me a little longer than I thought it was going to read it, because there were some moments in the story where the plot really slowed down, and then moments where it really picked up, and it was very quickly, flying by. It was good. I would say 3.5 stars. I don't know that I would pick it up to read it again. I wasn't that intrigued by it. But all in all, a pretty solid read. I would recommend it for anybody who kind of likes that mystery thriller, kind of thing in a book. My only thing is I found it a little confusing when it jumped back and forth between what was real and what was not real in the book, because the screenplay is when it's written in the screenplay form, that's where the main character is writing the screenplay and you're reading it, and then it switches back into what is reality, and it took me a minute to figure that out. But yeah, good book. 3.5 stars. I would read it over My Roommate is a Vampire. So there you go. The next book that I read in October was, of course, everybody's reading basically anything Leigh Bardugo right now. And that may not actually be fairly true, but I feel like I'm seeing a lot of people picking up her backlist and reading The Six of Crows and all of that. So Shadow and Bone, I'd seen the first season. I haven't watched the Netflix series beyond that, but I knew that I wanted to read the book based on that series. Yeah, this was super engaging. The writing was really cool. The world building was really cool. I wasn't confused reading it. It's a great book. I get why all the hype. 4 stars for me. I can't wait to continue on in the series. I have them all. Season Storm didn't make it on my November TBR, but that's okay. I'm sure I'm going to have extra time at the end of the month to pick up and continue on with series. So Shadow and Bone, 4 stars for me. Oh, first of all, what I liked about Shadow and Bone was the world building, the characters. I just felt really connected to them. I didn't, in the TV series, I did not like Mal, but in the books, I really like Mal. So there's that. Nothing I didn't like. Actually, there was nothing I didn't like about Shadow and Bone. The next book that I read was, of course, Divine Rivals. I jumped on this bandwagon hardcore. I absolutely loved this book. It is worth all of the hype. If you haven't read it, pick it up. I don't know how people couldn't like this book. It is brilliantly written. It is sweet and poignant, and I don't even know how to describe it. This was 5 stars all the way. If I could give it 6 and 7, I would, honestly, because it was just, I actually couldn't put it down. And I found myself inventing ways to hear it, read it. When I didn't have time, I would put on the audiobook and just listen to it so that I could continue on in the story. The ending, I just was like, ah! In the end, fantastic, phenomenal book. Rebecca Ross knew what she was doing here. I cannot wait for Ruthless Vows next month. Anyway, 5 stars. Pick it up if you haven't. It is a brilliant read. There was nothing I didn't like in this story. Absolutely nothing. There's nothing I would go back and change. There's nothing I would suggest be different. I loved everything about it. I just want to hug it. I just want to hug it. I love it so much. Okay. I'm done being weird. Okay. So next, I read Tease Me Once. I honestly have not been telling you what prompts these fulfilled because I don't think I remember anymore. But it's fine. Everything's fine. This is, I will show you. It is Tease Me Once. But this is Willow Winters is the author, and she has a whole discrete series that are just the names of the characters on the front, and then they have really pretty formatting. I don't know if you can see it as I flip through it. The chapter titles all have pretty flowers and florals. This is the beginning. This is the first in a series, a trilogy. It is about, sorry, my brain. Oh, it's a crime family. The Crosses, their crime family. Braylon goes to work for Declan in a nightclub. Some things ensue. There's some craziness. In the process, they're falling in love. It's kind of forbidden. Super fast read. Actually, so far, all of Willow Winter's reads have been really easily digestible, super fast to read, and fun. I've enjoyed every single one I've watched. I'm not mad at any of these books that I've read. Did I say watched? No, read. I am not mad at any of these books that I've read. So this was a pretty solid 3-star book. I mean, you're not going to find like really deep literary themes in a spicy romance. So, yeah, it was good. I give it 3 stars. And it's a happy 3 stars. There's nothing I would have changed about it. Nothing I didn't like about it. I knew exactly what I was getting into when I picked it up, and I am, yeah, not mad at it. I like it. The next one that I read, oh my gosh. Okay. I love this book. This is Daughter of the Pirate King. Absolutely did not want to put this down. This is the Barnes and Noble edition, so it has like the sprayed edges and the stenciling and stuff. I loved this. It follows Alosa, and she is a piratess. She has her own ship. She's actually only 17 in this book, which is super interesting. But she is the daughter of the Pirate King, and she allows herself to be captured onto an enemy ship to find the key to the map to the treasure, basically. This was a phenomenal book. Not mad at any of it. I loved the main character. I loved her spunk and her sass. I would say there were some moments of repetitiveness that I didn't love, but it wasn't enough for me to like roll my eyes at. You know what I'm talking about. You roll your eyes at a book. Everybody does it. I did not do that here. I loved Ridden, who is the main male character. I loved her. I loved the setting, and I loved the timeline. Just everything worked. It was really smartly written. Solid 4.5 stars for me. I could not put it down, and it just was a really good time. It was a fun read. I really liked this one. I picked up When Life Gives You Vampires. This is about a heavier set woman who has always had a very toxic relationship with her body and with food and dieting. It deals with some pretty heavy ideas around body image and, how we view our bodies, how we think about ourselves, how cruel, honestly, women can be about their bodies to themselves, like our intrusive thoughts, those things. It is a romance comedy. It's about Lily, who is accidentally turned into a vampire, and she finds out that she's stuck after years of yo-yo dieting and whatnot. She's stuck with this body for the rest of her life, or unlife, because now she's a vampire. And the vampire that turned her accidentally, Tristan, it's a grave kind of sin to turn somebody without permission, and so they basically end up in a battle trying to save their lives. And so I liked this way more than My Roommate is a Vampire. I would have chosen this 3 times over. And I might find myself rereading this in the years to come, which is actually really interesting. So I gave this one 4 stars. Really, it's not even cute. My Roommate is a Vampire feels kind of cute and light. This is a little deeper, a little heavier, a little darker, but still has really good themes and a really good moral and takeaway. So this was 4 stars for me. I would recommend it for anybody who, might feel less than confident about their body. Yeah, it was really good. Oh my gosh, this next book. Okay. I love this next book so much. I get the hype. I totally get why people were talking about it. Assistant to the Villain was amazing. This is, I wouldn't say 5 stars, 4.5. 4.5 stars. I loved this book. It was witty. It was funny. It was like snappy, the characters were amazing. You can't help but love the villain. Honestly, I was reading this and I was like, this is like an adult version of Gru from Despicable Me. Like, he wants to be bad. He wants to do bad things. He like has a compulsion to do bad things, but he has a heart. And oh my gosh, it's so good. I 100% recommend this book. If you haven't picked it up yet, pick it up. This is a 4.5 star read for me. I also want to give this a hug. I'm going to hug it. Oh, I want to read this again. I want to experience it again. It's so good. I loved it. Let's see. I read Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone. This is a reread for me. That was the prompt, actually, that it was fulfilled on my TBR, was a reread. Love this book. I have nothing bad to say about it. It's hard to rate it because I'm biased, because it is so nostalgic and I can't go back and re-experience reading it again. I mean, if I had to rate it 4 stars, I feel good about 4 stars. Yeah, I feel good about 4. 4 stars for Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone. I love it. Very good. Scratchy. Oh, my arm. Okay, I got stung by a bee. It's just always itchy now. Okay. The next one I read was The Ex-Hex. This is a cute little romantic comedy about Vivian, who meets Reese when he is at the college in her hometown. It's kind of a magical college and magical town. And she falls in love. He ends up going home. She hexes him on accident. And when he comes back, 9 years later, just all crazy shenanigans ensue. And they have to work together to like break the curse, break the hex. So this was cute. It was fast. It was good. I would say 3.5 stars for Ex-Hex. I have no complaints with it. I don't think there's anything I didn't like about it. I think I liked everything about it, and I was happy that I read it. I don't know that I would read it again, but that's only because I have so many other books I would rather read again. So 3.5 stars for me for the Ex-Hex. Lastly, somewhere in this mix of books, I listened to Renegades, which is Expeditionary Force Book 7 by Craig Allenson, performed by R.C. Bray. I have been talking about this to everybody who will listen, and I mentioned it in the November TBR video. But excellent books, hilariously performed. It's about... Well, you kind of have to just like listen to it. But the series in book 1 starts with an alien attack on Earth, which then kickstarts kind of this really long back and forth from Earth to space to new planets to all of these things. But this crew goes through the ringer, and they're joined by an alien AI named Skippy, who is just like hilarious, beyond hilarious. He's awesome. And those are always going to get 4+ stars for me. So, because there's like nothing, actually not all of them get 4+ stars. That one gets 4 stars. And honestly, 5 stars, the audiobooks will always get 5 stars for me because of the way that they're performed. R.C. Bray is top-notch narrator, top-notch audiobook performer, whatever you call them. So, if you listen to the audiobook, just know that's a 5 star for me. The book itself is a 4 star. Yes. Okay, last but not least, I participated in a 48-hour readathon at the end of October. And in that, Fourth Wing. I did it. I drank the Kool-Aid. I picked up the book. And oh my gosh, I am not even sad I did it. Look, we can all agree that this is not like a classic type book material. This is not Emily Bronte. This is not Jane Austen. This is a freaking good time though. I loved this book. I loved everything about this book. I actually was mad that it was over. I shut it like this. Currently, when I'm filming this, the book has shipped and will be here tomorrow, Tuesday, November 7th. I'm so excited. I am going to make sure that my whole table is clear for nothing but reading Iron Flame. I cannot wait. 5 stars. 100% for me. 5 stars. It was a freaking good time reading this. I didn't want to put it down. I didn't want to stop reading it. I didn't want to let it go. Can we just be best friends? No? That's weird to be best friends with a book? Okay. Anyway, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved Xaden. I loved Violet. I loved Xaden. Nobody is safe. Nobody you love, nobody you like is safe in this book, just so you know. So don't go getting attached to characters because very much like Game of Thrones, they get axed. But it doesn't stop me from loving this book. And I'm rambling about it because I loved it so much. I loved it. Okay. Freaking awesome. 5 stars. Loved everything about it. Also in that 48-hour readathon, I read Seeking +1. It's a romantic comedy novella. It was good. I honestly don't fully remember exactly what it's about. So, I mean, I remember not being mad about it. But I would say 2.5 stars. I mean, it's a novella, so it's going to move really fast. It's going to have an unrealistic timeline. Yeah, all those. 2.5 stars. It's pretty good. I also read Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief graphic novel. Loved it. 4 stars. Went super fast. It was snappy. Not mad I read it. And then I read the second to this, which was called I'll Kiss You Twice. So this is Tease Me Once. The second book is called I'll Kiss You Twice. Again, pretty much knew exactly what I was getting into with it. Same rating, 3.5 stars. 3, I can't remember, but 3.5. Yeah, this is good. It was a good continuation. The whole book pretty much takes place in like a very short setting in a very short amount of time. But Willow Winter's books they can do that. There's something about her writing that it doesn't feel weird when that happens. Like, you know, it doesn't feel inconsistent or like too many unrealistic things are happening in too short of amount of time. The way that she writes this, and the way that she writes in general feels like a realistic amount of time for the pages you're reading and what's happening. So this is good. I liked it. Everything about it. So anyway, that's it. That's everything that I read, everything that, yeah, in that 48 hour on my TBR, those are my thoughts. So that's it. I hope you have a great day. I hope you enjoy this video. You know, do all the social media things or all the things that people tell you to do, like subscribe, comment, engage. It helps them out. So have a great day.